So if we look back at our childhoods, how do we start developing perfectionism? And how can we actually one step ahead that we think, whoa, that's going to happen. So how do we prevent it at that time? How can we prevent, or can we prevent it anyway?
In ourselves or in our children?
Let's start with in our children. Let's start. I think that's a really huge thing there, because when we start there, if we are already prevented, once the children are adults, we don't need to look in ourselves anymore because we have overcome that.
Yeah. So if we look at perfectionism from the nurture perspective, in order to avoid that happening to the child, the parent needs to have inner work and needs to have awareness as to why they're stressing their child so much, to color within the lines, to clean everything up, to not yell at them for breaking things, all of the things that we say because we want to raise good children and have them be good members of society. And also because for a lot of parents, and I'll include myself, well, it makes us look good. So if we're good parents because our children are perfect, then everything that we're doing, it's in good, for good reason.
It will make us look good. Did you say that just?
Yeah, there's a lot of narcissism for when we become parents. And whenever people say, oh, I want to have a child, it's because I want to have a child, not the child wants to be here. So we have to understand, why do we want this child? And also, once the child or the baby is born, that this child is not an extension of us. It's its own separate being with its own separate purpose from us in this life. And a lot of people have a hard time understanding that. They see their children as property, as possessions, as extensions of themselves, as expressions of themselves, and they must be perfect so that they can feel good about themselves.
If I remember, Khalil Gibran, Lebanese poet, he wrote, our children are not our children. They come through us.
Yeah.
But we do not own us or own them.
Right.
I don't know how he said it exactly, but the children come through us, but they are not ours. They are the whole, wherever they are in this planet, on this planet, in this universe. So you said like the parents should do inner work. They should actually ask themselves like, why am I trying to ask my kids, just walk straight, don't make the plates fall when they start yelling, or tidy up, or whatever they want that the child does. So do inner work so that we can then start maybe preventing perfectionism that the child will develop. What more?
That one, to the point though, it's one of the hardest hurdles to overcome, especially in the beginning, because society doesn't teach us that our children come through us. Society says that child is yours, belongs to you until they're 18 in the US and they go off to college. And so it's really shifting the belief system that you can be a good parent and your child be messy. And you could be a good parent and your child's just be them. So that's why I work a lot more with adults now than with children, because I'm trying to go more towards the roots of the issue before it's too late, before that's already become cemented in the child's mind that they aren't good enough unless they receive the good girl or the sticker or the reward or the straight A's or the top of the sports, and actually all of that all at once.
I love that so much, Eva, because I said, let's start with the kids because it starts there. But you say, no. And actually, that's why I shifted starting with parents, because it starts there. They are raising children.
Yes, my work with teens is amazing because I tell them, if I knew what I'm teaching you and we're talking about and you're expressing in therapy sessions now, who knows where I'd be. So if you can understand these concepts at 15, 16, 17, 18 years of age, you're already on your way of making a whole life out of you and for yourself, very different from what you've been conditioned to believe. But for the littler ones, my work is with the parents to get them to snap out of it.
So do inner work actually also shift their belief system towards however they are, however they treat their kids, they can be good parents. I mean, if the child is a messy, you are still a good parent. You don't need to have a neat child all the time, you know?